All right. So the Miami Dolphins, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Tom Brady have been intertwined with all kind of rumors this offseason. So much has happened. Mize, I know you got the latest there in the timeline and everything going on with that situation.
Nick, what if I told you the reason Bruce Arians left Tampa isn't exactly what we thought it was? What if I told you there's a tangled web we weave, as in every, high money making opportunity, that everything's not as easy as it seems? And Ben Volen of the Boston Globe has laid out a story of a timeline of why things happen the way they happen, what was supposed to happen, and how it got disrupted. And I'm gonna go through that timeline, and then we could talk about it. All right.
Yep. Go ahead.
So, uh, February 1st, Tom Brady announces his retirement from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and football, apparently. So then, Brady is back with the Bucs on March 30th. So what caused that? Okay, there's a few things that happen. So I read an article, and it said Rich Ornberger, a former offensive lineman and teammate of Brady's with the Patriots, said there's two reasons why Brady decided to retire in the first place. First being that Brady really felt undermined by Bruce Arians. It said that him and offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich would go over the game plan each week, and as soon as they were done, Arians would come in, mark it all up, and they felt undermined, as if Arians didn't trust their game plan. The second reason being, and this is the important one here, Brady was offered a golden opportunity by Stephen Ross down in Miami to play for the Dolphins and eventually work himself into an ownership role of an NFL team, something that he's probably been eyeing for a while now. And this all seems perfect. He gets away from Arians, who's been undermining him. He gets to get an ownership stake. He gets to stay in Florida, where he's been living for the past year or so, 2 years. But what happened? The Brian Flores lawsuit broke and blew up the whole plan. See, Brady had this plan where he was going to come in, go with a veteran coach he's had a relationship for a long time, being Sean Payton, from the formerly New Orleans Saints head coach. They're going to work together, and the week of the Super Bowl, assuming that they made it, Stephen Ross was going to announce that Brady was going to go play in the Super Bowl, they're going to retire, and then he was going to have a minority ownership stake in the Dolphins. But the Flores lawsuit really just ruined everything. But there's more to this story as well, because where's Brady's now? He's back with the Buccaneers, and if this was the plan all along, don't you think the Buccaneers would be mad? Because I do. And apparently, Brady went all the way to the United Kingdom to a Manchester United football game. The Glazer family, who also owns the Bucs, owns Manchester United. And it's this whole story is saying that Brady has gone back to the UK to smooth things over with the Glazer family, give out a list of some things that he had problems with, obviously Arians being one of those problems, and give the, maybe the demands of what it takes for him to come back. And this is the real reason why Bruce Arians is moved out of the head coaching spot and put into the front office. What do you think about all of that?
So just to recap, make sure I got everything right here. So a former teammate and friend of Brady's said that Brady wasn't happy with Bruce Arians and his role in the game planning in Tampa, and saying Brady had a relationship with Miami Dolphins owner Stephen Ross to become a part owner with Ross and eventually kind of move into their ownership role, kind of like Derek Jeter with the Marlins, that kind of deal.
Exactly.
So they're trying to orchestrate that, and then the Flores thing blows that all the way up. And so then Brady flies out to England during the Premier League, during whatever period of matches are going on there, to talk to the Glazer family and says, hey, sorry about all this, but even with it all blowing up to Miami, the only way I'm coming back is if you get rid of Arians. And the Glazers say yes. And so now Arians is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's more or less it.
That's pretty wild, right? That's staggering. And to me, the fact that Arians agreed to step down is kind of interesting too, because why? What does Arians gain in all this? He had to get a massive payout or some kind of deal to not push back against this. And who's to prevent Brady from leaving even next year or whatever to go to Miami and repeat this process again? I think Mike Sando over at The Athletic, he interviewed an anonymous NFL exec who says it does. If Tom Brady does not redo his contract with the Bucs, it does not take a rocket scientist to know that Brady and Sean Payton, to your point, are going to be in Miami next year. So this is sort of just an ongoing saga. This is extremely bizarre. And I don't think we've ever seen anything like this. I mean, the closest I can think of is maybe what LeBron James did in the NBA when he went from the Cleveland Cavaliers to Miami Heat, of all places, to try and orchestrate that super team there. But this is absolutely crazy that Brady actually essentially orchestrated a head coach losing his job after retiring to go to a different team to become a part owner. This is extremely bizarre. I don't know if we've ever seen anything like this.
Yeah, but this isn't uncommon for Miami. This kind of reminds me of like the 2000s Miami Hurricanes football team with, I believe Jimmy Johnson was the coach during, or who's before Johnson there?
So it was Schnellenberger. We're going way back in the 70s. Schnellenberger, then it was Johnson, then it was, I think, Dennis Erickson, and then you got into Butch Davis and then Larry Coker.
Well, whether it was Johnson or the one before him, they said that he didn't really like coach the team. The team kind of coached themselves. They ran all the practice, did all the stuff. So Miami's, are used to giving up power for success, But I think this is all very interesting. And to your point, I don't think it's over. I think Arians is out. Brady's back in Tampa due to that. He's agreed to come back. But if we don't see like a restructuring of the contract, I think he's waiting for the Flores lawsuit to smooth over, because just as the Deshaun Watson lawsuit shows, the NFL's okay that if you let something get smoothed over for about a year, everything's all right and you can go back to business as usual. So they wait for the Flores lawsuit to smooth over. Then they try to go, round 2 on the grand master plan. They have Payton, Brady, Miami, and then Brady owning part of Miami. So I'm curious to see how this story develops, because it really, the whole article, we'll probably link it in the bottom of the video. The whole article is very, very interesting, and the web that is weaved all throughout the thing is very crazy. It's crazy. I've never seen anything this complicated.